What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Second Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are, live on a Tuesday. I know, right? I don't normally go live here on Tuesdays, but hey, didn't go live yesterday. Had a very busy day yesterday. In case you guys don't know, I run my own business and had just some freight come in for my work and everything. Had to get it all worked, but luckily, you know what? I'm telling you, my children are the real heroes. Yeah, that's right. We use we use child labor to help get the work done here with my business, which is actually really great. You know what? Because the kids, they're awesome. They're always happy to help. They're always willing to help. And so yeah, it was a very long day yesterday, and so didn't get a chance to go live. And I figured, hey, why not? Got a little bit of time. I woke up early because you know what? We got everything done early. Just like everything went smoothly. I was like, you know what? I got time. We're gonna go live here on a Tuesday and say what is up to everybody and talk a little bit about WandaVision and just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get here into the oh, that thing. Okay. You know what? Here, let's try this. Let's try this. There we go. A little bit better. Let me know if it's too loud or anything, guys. Let me know how it is on your end. You know, because sometimes I feel like when I check it, like I don't know if I have my volumes too high or anything. I never know. But let me know how it sounds for you guys. Anyway, let's see who all we got here. We got Ray Hall and Mike Porter. What is up? How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Hayward is the Kree sleeper cell Fury is talking about and Far From Home. Very well could be. Very well could be. Yeah, child labor. Yeah. No, it's great. My kids really love helping. And here's the thing: is like yesterday we had a pretty big load of freight, and we got it all done quick. And the thing is, because like we're slowly like getting to the point, like it used to take a lot longer. And even when it was just me, like for a while I used to just do it alone. I'm like, you know, it's just quicker. The kids aren't in the way or anything. I can just get this done. You know, my wife will watch the kids here in the afternoon while I get all this stuff done, and all that stuff. They'll just get in my way. But you know, it's kind of the same thing like at a job. You know what I mean? It's the same thing at a job, and I know that too from like I was talking the other day was. You know, I used to work in an environment where like it was pretty like I was the lead, and it was my job to make sure that the new people came in and were trained, that they were trained properly, that they were working up to expectation and things like that. And you know, the thing is, you'd say, hey, so and so, yo, hey Mike, yeah, can you train the new guy? You know, and you know, Mike's like, and they're like, yeah, sure. Hey, there's these boxes over here. They got this number on them. Stack them right there. And that's it. That's it, right? And that's it. That's it. Um. Oh wait. Hold on a second. All right. All right. Reefer Man reviews. What is up? So, but that's the thing is like, you know, I'm like, no, I just need to get the kids out here and helping. So first I would have them help me, you know, move the boxes off the truck, you know, like carry them one by one or start a little chain, however it worked. And then just slowly, you know, then helping unpack the boxes. And then now, like a lot of times I can have like my oldest daughter, she'll price them. She'll sit there and price them while my other two are unloading the boxes, and then I'll sit there and I'll be taking them off the truck and stacking them and opening them up for the kids to, you know, put onto the tables. You know, got a bunch of tables, you know, for like when we do shows and stuff, that they go and they set them out. And then my oldest, she comes by and she prices them. Well, this time like it's starting to work smooth, so I'm like, oh, all right. So the kids are unpacking them. She's sitting there pricing them. I'm telling her the prices on them, and so I end up going back and just packing the boxes back up so we can get them back into the truck and load the stuff up. And it was really quick and smooth. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, you train them, they get better, they get more efficient, you know, and hey, it works out. I was thinking, like, the next thing I need to do is get 2 Garvey guns, so then I can have 2 of them sitting there pricing, and then me and my son will be sitting there on doing the boxes and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, going into a whole bunch of nonsense right here. a whole bunch of nonsense. I hope you're all having a very good day today. We're going to talk about a little bit about some WandaVision. Again, thank you all so much for being here. We also got Rowan Ginger Raven coming in as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got that Megadeth shirt, which is something else. Is gonna thank you for the segue into this quick topic I wanted to talk about. Was I just got the, you know what? I just got this album in right here. This is Anthrax, For All Kings. I just got this in on Amazon. I ordered it because I was sitting there the other day and I was looking at my CDs. I was thinking about the music show and bringing back the music show on Sundays, where we kind of took Adam from Fanjecture. And guys, if you guys don't know Adam from Fanjecture, if you guys have never been to Fanjecture's channel, you need to scroll down in the description right there. Scroll down and check out his channel. Fanjecture has an awesome show called Debate 8. Well, anyway, I kind of took and used his idea that he had of Debate 8 and used it for my music show. I don't know, we did that for, I don't know, it seems like we did quite a few shows of that, but a lot of that stuff kind of gets time consuming and stuff like that. Like my friend, he would work on getting the lineups and everything, and I would have everything on the computer. But you know, I also had old equipment, and things work a lot better and a lot smoother now. So we'll probably be able to do some more of those shows coming up here. But yeah, so I just got this in Anthrax's For All Kings. It's their latest album, and it was funny. I was looking at it when I was going to order this. This is like back in like 2016 already. I'm like, dude, that's already been like 5 years. It's already been like 5 years since Anthrax has come out with a new album. And I'm not sure if you guys know Anthrax. Anthrax is a freaking great band. There you go, right there. Great band. They've been around since the 80s. Been around since the 80s. You got Joey Belladonna, Frank Bello there, bass player. Joey Belladonna, he's the singer. Frank Bello is the bass player. Let's see what else. You got me on dude here. Because it's not Scott Ian or Charlie Benante. But I do know that the other guy there, what was he played for? Didn't he go on to play for Volbeat, I think? I think that's the same guy. It'll say in here. John Denice. Denice? Yeah. Anthrax, they've been around for a long time. This album right here, For All Kings, is absolutely great. The thing is, they got Joey Belladonna here back as the singer. He's only been back for this album and the album before that. Studio albums, I guess, full studio albums. They've been around for a long time. Joey Belladonna was with them in their early years. Not like necessarily on their first album, but he was there in the early years through when they actually started really getting big and things like that. And through all the big years, and then in the 90s, God, what year was that? I want to say it was probably around 94-ish, 95-ish. Is that when Sound of White Noise came out? Sound of White Noise came out, and they had John Bush, who was the singer for Armored Saint, come out, and he was the new lead singer. And believe me, they did some freaking great music with John Bush. It was hands down just some great stuff. But to me, it even seemed like the band kind of changed a little as well. It seemed like, where Anthrax is, has always traditionally been a thrash band. To me, it seemed like they kind of took a little bit heavier of a turn. Like they still had that thrash, they still had thrash there, but it sounded like it started to sound a little more heavy, a little more metal, than necessarily just thrash metal. Just a little heavier. Which is all good in my book. I love the way they did it. And then they did worship music. Their first studio album back with Joey Belladonna, and then now this was the latest one. Like I said, it's been 5 years ago now. I just finally got this in with Joey Belladonna as well. For All Kings, and I'm telling you, like, worship music seemed like it kind of picked up like. It seemed like it kind of picked up like back in the day, like like it was the next album right after Persistence of Time, which was the last album that they had with Joey Belladonna. It sounded like it was like it went from Persistence of Time to worship music. I mean, like the sound of it and everything. I mean, it kind of retained that heavy sound to it, but it sounded a little bit more thrashy. And it, you know, and then also obviously you get Joey Belladonna's vocals back. Freaking great, man. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's one of the things we need to talk about is Anthrax one of these days, and maybe we need to have debate 8 of greatest Anthrax albums. Greatest Anthrax albums, because really good stuff. Also, got something else. Your boy Myrtle's going to be having another show. I'm not sure if you guys caught the video. I actually ran it in one of the live streams the other day. But your boy Myrtle is going to be having another video dropping soon. Yeah, he got in some more. He got in some more mail. He got in some more mail to talk about there. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have another edition of Mail Hydra coming in very soon. Yeah. So it looks like we're gonna have another edition of Mail Hydra. That should be fun and exciting. And you know, sitting here once again, reading through Kill Crazy Nympho's Attack again, and I'm telling you guys, like, I love this dang book. This book is so freaking awesome. Chances are, I mean, unless you own this book, you're probably never going to get a chance to read it. But it's great. It's great. Anyway. That's just what I've been doing here over the weekend as well. Getting read through some, caught up on my comic books. Getting read through some of these trade paperbacks from AWA I've been picking up. Stories that I've read them all, but they, you know, everything seems to read different in a trade paperback. But anyway, let's get back here into the live chats really quick, and then we will get in and see what you all are saying. See what you all have to say here, and then we'll talk a little bit about some WandaVision. He refers to Wanda as a terrorist, just like Jude Law refers to Skrulls as terrorists. Yeah, absolutely, could be. Yeah, you're good. Everyone's still sleeping? Yeah. You like Bob's Burgers except with nuts. I've never seen Bob's Burgers. I don't know. Maybe so. Let's see. Hope episode 8 gives us how all this started. You know, I know, and that's the interesting thing there, right? That's the interesting thing, isn't it? How did all of this start? Makes you wonder, right? Do you think Mephisto will make an appearance in WandaVision episode 8? Asks Zach Pitcher. No, I don't. I don't. Only because I don't think it's Mephisto necessarily. Like, maybe Nightmare, but I'm thinking like the big appearances. Like as far as like villains are concerned, I think they've probably already been set up. Kind of like we're talking about here with Tyler Hayward, which for me, if you ask me at this point, I'm kind of thinking that Tyler Hayward, maybe he's actually the Grim Reaper in this case, and who knows? Who knows? That's just kind of what I'm thinking. Is, I mean, they'll change things up, and maybe he's just using an alias. Maybe it's not his real name, you know. Maybe, you know, but I'm just kind of thinking that. But yeah, obviously we got Agnes. We're going to be getting, now here's the interesting thing is what we'll get into is, like, you know, what we've seen, what everybody's talking about right now, right? That book at the very end of WandaVision. What is it? Well, I think everybody's right. I think it is actually that Druid Tome is what it is, but I do believe it is the Dark Hold, because that's kind of what it is. Now, the thing is, you have to get into the comic books and just, like, I'm telling you guys, get into the comic books. Do yourself a favor. And believe me, I am not sponsored by this. Is not a plug for, but the thing is, look, take $10, $9.99, right now. Here, you know, let me see if I can find a link. Maybe they'll give me a discount, or send me your email. I know that they do. But you get this go to Marvel Unlimited. Go to Marvel Unlimited. Pay for that unlimited subscription for 1 month. And you can do all the reading you need for 30 days, right? But get on there and go read. And look, I'm telling you that, and I'm telling you this, not having not read some of the other things that they're pulling from here. But get on there, go read the Vision and Scarlet Witch series, both of them, on that app. And then go read all the tie-ins that it references in there, because it references like, oh, this happened in this issue. Go read those couple of issues they just told you to read. Read on, and then come back, and then read on, and just like, seriously, go look into those things. Go look into those things. There's a whole lot of things that tie together and everything. But the book is most likely the Darkhold. As far as I know, there's not really a whole lot of other books out there that people use. Now, the interesting thing here is with that book, because it leads to a whole lot of other things, and it alludes to a whole lot of other things, and I think we're getting a lot of those illusions so far in WandaVision. Okay, we'll get a little bit more back into the Darkhold here in just a second. Let's see. Red Raven 96, thank you so much for being here. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Mephisto, Zach. I don't think it's gonna be Mephisto. Reefer Man says, "What? Anthrax is sick." Yeah. Why is Wanda though? Yeah, right. Isn't Meatloaf Joey's father-in-law? I don't know. Is he? I'm not for sure. Aduder Reviews, what is up? How are you doing, my brother? What is up? Aduder, we need to get together sometime, man. Supreme Comics Girl, how are you doing? Julie, what is up? Cool Music Reviews, talk about the band that you were in. Well, yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, I can't wait for more Myrtle. Yeah, he's gonna be back. Yeah. Jamie Franklin, thank you so much for being here. Says Trinity was good, my guy. Do you think Hayward could be Ralph? No. I mean, I don't think so. They could be, but they could possibly be working together. I don't know. I don't know. Ray Hall says the Darkhold. Yeah. Yeah, it was on the dude. I missed it. I missed the show. I missed the show. I gotta go back and watch it. Wookiee Supremacy, thank you so much for being here. Will Morgan is here. How are you doing? Yeah. Boulder Doobies. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll get back into the Darkhold in just a second, guys. We'll get back into the Darkhold in just a minute. Okay. Now, as I was saying, when you go back and you read that WandaVision series, or it was Vision and Scarlet Witch series is what it's called. And a lot of, why is no one talking about how Quicksilver is Ralph? Yeah, it could be. Wait, wasn't the book in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so is Kevin wanted to do an actual MCU version? Well, I think the thing is like, there's really no avoiding it. I'm not really sure. I mean, aside from you could get into all the little books like that are in the little library and Doctor Strange, I'm not really sure what other books they would have in the MCU to bring in that are in the Marvel universe that are important books like that. Because this is where you get into a lot of these things I'm getting ready to say with this Vision and Scarlet Witch series. If you go back and you read all of the things and the tie-ins in these books. Now, obviously, we've got elements of House of M in here. I wouldn't know. I haven't read it. Not yet, anyway. And I haven't read that Vision Quest, or just that Vision series, Tom King's that he did here a handful of years ago. I haven't read that neither. But this Vision and Scarlet Witch series, because I can see the other elements of the other stuff just from what people have talked about with those series. I can see all those elements in here. I totally get it. But this Vision and Scarlet Witch series, I see how it pertains to all those stories too, just thinking about all of it. But ultimately what the Vision and Scarlet Witch series kind of was all about, related with, was it dealt a lot with Vision and him being a sentient mind. He made the argument that he was a human mind and he had a prosthetic body, right? Like kind of like what we're talking about, a sentient weapon. And that's kind of what it was. Now, do we need to get in and hail the great Dr. Arnim Zola who did it first? Which we don't know where. We honestly don't know where Tony Stark came up with the Jarvis AI either, right? Maybe that was the great Dr. Arnim Zola. Hail Hydra. Interesting thing about Hydra, right? Interesting thing, speaking of Hydra, because what is Hydra? Hydra, it's kind of like the little tentacled beast, like the little Hydra thingy, right? Like a little octopus thing. Yeah. Very interesting because the Darkhold deals with Shuma Gorath, right? Who is that kind of, and Chthon, who is that kind of looking being. It's got the head and it's got the tentacles and everything coming out, and they've been dealing with a lot in the Savage Avengers series lately. But is tied to the Darkhold. All right. I'm getting back to the Darkhold again. I got sidetracked. See, anyway, this whole thing dealt with Vision being a real person, a sentient being, and people trying to use him. Everybody was trying, like, the Grim Reaper was ultimately kept trying to get Vision because Vision had his brother's brainwaves. Wonder Man. He kept trying to come back to get Vision. That's what all of these tie-ins to that they all also set you out to go read, because they have you go and they have you read some Captain America, some Fantastic Four, some West Coast Avengers. They have you read some different books, a lot of these tie-ins, and a lot of it. And one of the things they actually Easter egged in the last couple of episodes is and it was, I think it was an Avengers, another Avengers series that had to deal with Grim Reaper once again, trying to utilize Vision and his AI and his construct and his brainwaves and everything to bring back his brother, and in one case himself, to try to cheat death, right? And that's what everybody was trying to do, and that's what we see happening in this show. Now, the other thing that this Vision and Scarlet Witch series also dealt with was it also dealt with Wanda and her magic powers and people trying to use her and her magic, right? And trying to utilize those things. At one point, what happened in the first Vision and Scarlet Witch series, Scarlet Witch actually has that Druid tome. She has the Darkhold there in her house. She has there in Leonia. Leonia is what you could consider Westview in this case. Kind of. We'll get there. Okay, so this is what it is. She had this Druid tome, and what it is it tried to come back to life. The moon started shining upon its pages, and it came to life. And that was Sam Hain. Sam Hain was trying to come back to life, and he said, well, he's like, I noticed you found this book. You have great magic, as he came to life, but you didn't try to awaken me. But somebody did recently, and all I had to do was to wait for the right day, and it was on All Hallows Eve. And on All Hallows Eve, like I said, the moon was shining. It was a full moon, and he started to come back to life. And so what ended up happening was Vision was actually going through some stuff too. It was weird. I think, was this the same time that he was going around being the neighborhood watch? Almost like he was in the TV show? Anyway. but he's Vision is not there at the time, but he ends up making it back. They have he's battling with these three. That's where he was. He was battling with these three kids who had been taken over by the spirit of Sam Hain, and they became evil. And so what happened was they were sitting there fighting. And eventually, what happened was Wanda took the book and threw it in the fire, burned it, and so she burned it, and that was it. Thought everything was all good. Thought everything was all good, and hey, it's all fine and dandy, right? It's all fine and dandy. Well, it was for a little while. What eventually happened was they were starting to have more issues later. I believe this was in the second Vision and Scarlet Witch series. What they were dealing with was they were trying to use at one point they were trying to resurrect they'd killed Agatha Harkness already, and this was the Salem 7 had already killed Agatha Harkness, and they were trying to use Wanda's magic to I believe they were trying to just use it to enhance their own magic at this point, and so they were doing all this. But what happened was when they burned the Druid Tome, which was the Darkhold essentially, they burned it, but their ashes still remained. So they had to get all the ashes and they reformed the book. They reformed the book, the Darkhold, and then they had to burn every, like, Vision used his Mind Stone and burned it like to oblivion, to where there was no ashes, no nothing left, and that was how they defeated Sam Hain and him being able to come back and the magical powers that it had. Because when you read about it, you go back into what the Darkhold was, because there was a callback to Captain America where he got the Druid Tome and he gave it to Wanda, and you go back where you see that he had actually defeated the person who was trying to use the book to resurrect Shuma Gorath. Now, in another one, I could be getting these two mixed up. In another issue that it refers to, which is there was Easter egg in WandaVision this last episode, which was the Avengers issue. They actually also deal with I think it was Chthon at this point, who was also like dealt with the Darkhold and trying to come back and resurrect to take over again the universe, right? It's interesting too, because that, like I said, that Chthon thing, it's got the little tentacles, kind of like the Hydra. Anyway, so they but that's what it all deals with. A lot of it deals with people trying to the government even was trying to utilize Vision and his AI. Now, what happened was Vision had actually been taken over, kind of like in the MCU, had been taken over by Ultron and tried to take over the world and destroy the world. Well, like that was like what Vision had tried to do, like in the comic books. Ultron had programmed, and it almost like in the MCU, almost. Now the thing is he went, and that's when he was making the argument that he was a real man, a sentient being, and everything, and he was just under the control of Ultron, and because they Vision and Scarlet Witch went to Project Pegasus, and he underwent all kinds of studies and everything. And she was there, watching. And at one point, she got impatient. She said, "Hey, you know what? Enough. You guys have had him long enough. I'm like, you got 1 minute, or I'm gonna bust up in this piece, and I'm taking him the hell out of here, and we're leaving." And that's exactly what she does. She bursts in the doors, kind of like in the show, and she goes in there and takes Vision and says, "Look, we're out this piece of shit," and they leave. But he was alive. He wasn't all torn up in bits and everything, which is interesting because in one of in the other series, he was actually in a fight with these ghosts and everything, and like his arm got all melted, and he had to go have his arm replaced. And so he was at the hospital, this was one of those times when Grim Reaper actually came in, and he put Wanda to sleep with some chloroform and took her, and I'm telling you, That's what this all deals with. It all deals with people trying to use Vision and Wanda for their own means. Grim Reaper trying to resurrect his brother, and even at some point resurrect himself, and even later with Shumagorath. I think it was Shumagorath. We could go into that a little more if you guys want at a later time. But that's they go into that. And like I said, you also see some of that. But it also goes into Wanda and Pietro's history as well. That goes in and talks about, you know, like all the stuff that happened at Wandagore Mountain and things like that. And, you know, like thinking about that, all of that kinds of stuff really makes me wonder how far they're going. Are they going to sit here and really reveal Wandagore and all that stuff? Are they really going to take us there? And with the high evolutionary and everything, and it's like it kind of seems like they're going to, and it seems like that's what they're setting up through all of this. And we've been talking about this for a while. Is all of this, is this season going to end here? Is it only this season? And what else is it leading into then? Because everything that they've set up and showed, and if they're doing any of this, it seems like they're going to have to do more. And we know it's going to, obviously it's going to tie into Doctor Strange. Obviously, it's going to affect probably even like the Loki series and some of these different things. So again, its tentacles go far and wide. It's tendrils and Hail Hydra. And so it makes me really wonder, again, about this thing. Is it going to be one season? Is it going to be more? Because it seems to me they could do a lot more with this just based off of this. Because that book down there, I guarantee you, is the Darkhold. And what had happened at one point in the comic books was all of the Salem 7 had actually trapped Wanda and Vision, and he was damaged. They actually trapped him in an oak and steel. Was it oak and steel? And they actually had to use these symbols, like these little circles that had little, like, you know, their little occult symbols, and they had to use those in order around to keep her in the circle, to keep her trapped where she couldn't use her magic, which is exactly what we seen at the very end of this last episode. Was Agatha Harkness. She waited till she got in the middle of that room, and you know, all we see, you see in all those on the top, you see all those little golden ones that were above, like the little entryways there into the thing. Those were, I guarantee you, those were all symbols that kind of help keep her magic at bay where she can't use her magic. They had to wait till she was in the middle, and that's what they did. They waited till she was in the middle. She snapped her fingers. The doors closed. So you know, just probably give that illusion that, you know, she was trapped. But at that point, she's trapped in there and she can't use her magic. Now, what they've tried to do, which Agatha Harkness wasn't part of the Salem 7 in this instance, but what they were doing, the Salem 7, is they were trying to take. They were actually going to sacrifice one of their own, Gazelle. They're going to actually sacrifice her on this day, to basically for the gods. For the gods. And it was going to make them all more powerful. All these other witches, they were going to get more power by doing this. And so in this case, they were actually going to burn Scarlet Witch and Vision at the stake as well, with this along with Gazelle, one of their sisters, one of the Salem 7. They were going to burn all three of them at the stake on this day. And it was really weird because it was during the day, and that's kind of how Vision ended up getting out of the little trap, right? Well, all of that happened. They escaped and got out of it and everything, and everything was kind of all good. But they were trying to use Wanda to and basically kill her, sacrifice her to get her powers. And that's kind of what we see a lot of the stuff going on here. The other interesting thing here too is, especially, I know you're sitting there looking at who's that missing child on that milk carton, right? And I know people are probably going to bring up, there's another tie-in to this Vision and Scarlet Witch series that has to do with Agatha Harkness. And you go back there and you read it. It's the Fantastic Four Annual number 14, in which you see, and here's the interesting thing here, is we're talking about New Salem here. New Salem was a town that was completely off the map. You couldn't find it. They didn't know where they were at. Like I said, it was just like Wakanda was It was just like Wakanda was, where it had like a kind of like a barrier and everything, and you could not see it on a map. Well, and New Salem was a town full of witches and wizards and just all kinds of just like bad beings, right? Succubuses. Well, Fantastic Four end up going there with Agatha Harkness for her this yearly thing that they do there, which is kind of what they were doing there as well. In the Vision and Scarlet Witch series, they go and they do this thing yearly at this time. So Agatha Harkness asked the Fantastic Four to go with her. So they went there with her, and they're going through this thing. And what happens is there's the Salem Seven, at this point, are trying to resurrect Nicholas Scratch. They're trying to resurrect Nicholas Scratch, and how they're doing that is during this ritual, they are trying to channel Agatha Harkness's power into this to resurrect Nicholas Scratch, and it's also going to make their powers stronger as well. Now, what happens is everybody there starts getting sucked into this, like it starts taking everybody's power, right? All the other druids who are there, all the other, that are saying, you see them all in their gowns and everything. It's taking all of their powers, and they're all in this trance-like state. Right? And so these witches are getting more powerful. Nicholas Scratch is getting ready to come back to life, and what happens is little Franklin Richards was there. You know Franklin Richards? Yeah, he's the son of Reed and Sue Richards. He took off because he was scared. He didn't go under the powers. He took off. They told him to run, so he took off running. He ran out of the forest, and they're like, oh, the kid. Should we go after him? They're like, just a little kid. Forget about him. Well, Franklin ran into the forest. He was missing. He was missing for a little while, and Agatha actually found him and took him back into the town and said, hey man, like you got to use your powers here. And he went in there, and he was all upset, and he used his powers, his reality warping powers, and made everything all good again. With his powers. He saved the day, right? For the people there. Well, what happened was the Salem Seven had actually taken and transported the Fantastic Four back to the top of the Fantastic Four tower or whatever, and that's where they were still continuing their ritual to resurrect Nicholas Scratch, and get the powers and everything. So there's allusions to that Fantastic Four here. We've had these illusions here as well. Yeah, you ever notice that weird thing too with Monica? What's with Monica? Remember when we first meet Geraldine and she's wearing that little spiral, I don't know what you would call that. That little pendant that she was wearing. Really interesting. And did you see like the wheels of the rover that they were taking in? How it had the spirals on the wheels? Yeah. I'm sure it's nothing. Now, the interesting thing here is when you get through the series as well, Wanda actually talks about her powers and the differences in them as well. She talks about the differences in her mutant powers. She talks about the difference in her mutant magic and the difference between her actual magic, where the actual magic can affect physical matter, and her mutant hex powers only affect probability outcomes. Almost like Domino, but different. You know how Domino's lucky? Almost like that. She affects probability fields. That's what she does. And that's what she also talks about through this series as well, is her powers, and she's learning the difference in them as well. And all of those things. She's also, being trained by Agatha Harkness. She's actually also even takes on an apprentice herself. All of these very interesting things that all parallel everything happening in this show. And that's what is very interesting, because we've had Easter eggs for a lot of this stuff going on here, and that's what's kind of led me to believe that I do think that Tyler Hayward is the Grim Reaper. I think he's Grim Reaper. He might be a Kree. He very well could be. That's a great theory. But I think that he's Grim Reaper, because we see that he's trying to utilize that AI. And I'm not necessarily. And you notice in that footage when Wanda's sitting there storming through the sword facility to go get Vision, the footage they show us. You notice how nobody's freaked out? Have you watched them that close? Like the people in the reception office and everything, when she's walking through the thing and she starts bursting through the doors, you just see like people just doing their thing, they're on the phone, they're walking around, like nobody seems alarmed, nobody seems alerted. Just like when she goes in where they have him all cut up and everything, and yeah, I love that body horror shit, man. And she goes down in there, and you notice how like nobody was freaking out. All the doctors that were in there working on Vision, like, go back and watch it. They all just like, oh, they like, you see one of them had their tool just sitting there like in the corner of the room, like, they go to the border of the room, and then that's when the agents with their guns came in. But even the agents with the guns came in, they didn't seem like they seemed like they were just ready, not getting ready to shoot. You know what I mean? Like they were just engaged. So there's a whole lot going on here, and that's kind of like, it makes me start to wonder, like, I'm not necessarily sure that Agatha Harkness in this case is actually working with Tyler Hayward, who I believe to be Grim Reaper. I think these two are both bad guys, and they both have their motives for what they're wanting to do, and the things that they're wanting to do here are not very good. They're not very good. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much stuff going on here where, like I said, this is just the Vision and Scarlet Witch series that ties into WandaVision. This has nothing to... I didn't even bring up anything, like I said earlier, because I haven't read it. The Vision series or the House of M. That's just here. Like, this show so far has really so closely paralleled the Vision and Scarlet Witch series. Right? And I don't think they're going to shake that. And obviously, like I said, there's the other things that have to do with these other stories as well. Like I said, maybe I'll see if I can get those read by the end of the week. But I've got to get ready to go here, guys. I've got to go get some breakfast for the kids, get them ready for school and stuff like that. Get to the comic shop, help get the pull lists and everything done. I hope you're all having a very good day. Let's say what's up to everybody in the chats here, and maybe I'll go through these later and see if there's any questions I can answer. We'll talk about them tomorrow. Let's see who all we got here. Will Morgan showed up. Wookiee Supremacy. Okay, I seen them. We got JB from Discovery Bay showed up. Red Raven 96. Lord Veedo, my man. What is up? I don't understand why I'm awake. Let's see. We also got... Oh, Mads Mama Bear showed up. How are you doing? What's up? Darth Stewie showed up as well. Thank you so much for being here. Zach Pitcher, again, thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for being here today, guys. You all have a very good day. Make sure you go check out my friends over at the Den of Nerds Live. They should be, if they're not already live, they should be in just a minute. Yeah, they are. They're live. Make sure that you go check them out. Also, hey, what's up with those rumors? Big Hero 6 coming to the MCU, right? Why is everybody acting so surprised? Like, that's a Marvel thing, right? Everybody acting like they don't know it. Yeah, anyway, but you all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.